This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumph's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25. Happy Monday. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Today is January 11th.
Well, the chairman of the Nye County Republican Central Committee says he didn't mean for his letter that went out to people across the country. It was meant for his membership, and it's caused quite a stir, having Nye County itself, the Nye County Sheriff Sharon Worley, and Nye County District Attorney Chris Arabia take note and issue their own statements on the matter. Zimmerman declined to go on camera with News 25 today and directed us to the organization's website for any further information. Zimmerman posted a letter on Friday stating strongly, "Let me be clear that Trump will be president for another 4 years and Joe Biden will not." Zimmerman gives his opinion regarding the attack on the Capitol last week, the election results, and warning the group what to expect in the near future. He ends with a joyful exclamation that Trump will be inaugurated on January 20th. He said that Nye County is Trump country, and so we don't see any reason out of the ordinary to believe our president when he says he will never give up. He says the next 12 days will be something to tell your grandchildren about, and it will be 1776 all over again. Zimmerman said today that there was nothing in the letter that included, implied, or supported anything seditious. Chris Arabia, the district attorney, says that his office will not tolerate political violence of any kind, regardless of what you have heard or read. Arabia said people should know that Sheriff Sharon Worley and myself are unaware of anyone in Nye County planning political violence or illegal action against political opponents or governments, either here or outside the county. He adds that Chris Zimmerman's letter stating that there is going to be high-profile arrests of people in high offices, activation of the emergency broadcast system, resort to the Insurrection Act, and major internet outages. He says that Zimmerman's letter is not a call to insurrection or violence. He believes that the letter consists of predictions and commentary. Arabia says it falls under the First Amendment of free speech. Nye County Public Information Officer Arnold Knightley says that this statement does not come from Nye County, but instead from the Nye County Republican Central Committee, and all questions should be addressed to them. After this break, we're going to show you Sheriff Sharon Worley's statement on the matter. News 25 will return in a moment.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Pahrump Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 10,054, open to our veterans and our community. Stop by or give them a call.
Thank you for staying with us. Sheriff Sharon Worley has issued a video statement regarding the statement issued earlier today by the Republican Committee in Nye County.
Hello, I'm Sharon Worley, Nye County Sheriff. Neither I nor my staff had a part in writing or disseminating the Republican Central Committee communications of late, because the events during the past year have been filled with turmoil, and these recent activities have left people with a general feeling of insecurity and unstableness. I wanted to reassure everyone that I and my office stand for all the people within Nye County. We will enforce the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Nevada. As you know, people of the United States have the right to freedom of speech under the First Amendment. People have the right of free speech, among many other rights. These rights are respected. However, when actions rise to acts of violence, that violence will not be tolerated. Illegal activity will not be tolerated. No matter who you are or what your beliefs are, the Nye County Sheriff's Office is here to protect the citizens and the visitors to Nye County, to protect you. We will remain neutral. Should any problems arise within our communities, each incident will receive unbiased evaluation and the appropriate response. Have a wonderful day.
Well, Cole Ingleson was back in court today, but only on the television screen. Ingleson was recently convicted of first-degree murder for the 2017 killing of his then-girlfriend's daughter, Yesenia Camp. Ingleson is due to be sentenced on February 1st. Some of those who were seated on the jury failed to show up for the trial. We spoke with District Attorney Chris Arabia about the failure to show.
That was a horrible case in a lot of ways. That was a case that had, emergency room nurses crying. These are people who see the worst things that there are, and they couldn't take it. It was tough for me, and I never met the little girl. And it took a lot of courage, and I've run into a couple of the jurors around town, which is nice because I've been able to thank them. It takes a lot of fortitude for them because, it's one thing for a first responder or me. We signed up for these jobs. These people were minding their own business. They get called into jury service. They have to look at and hear horrible things. The 911 call, was just a traumatic thing to have to listen to. And they served with distinction and courage, and they're doing it during a pandemic. So again, if you were on that jury, I really appreciate, your dedication to your community. So on the flip side, you got people who get the jury summons and they just go like this and they throw it away. Or you might have people who didn't show up and they had a legitimate reason. Now they get to explain to His Honor Judge Lane, what the story was. And if he likes their story, I guess it'd be okay. And if he doesn't like their story, maybe not. They got a summons, which means you have to be there. And like I said, there are going to be people, I'm sure, who had a legitimate reason or something that would suffice to excuse them. And there might be some people who don't have that. And it'll be up to the judge to decide which is which.
Well, 3 of the no-show jurors appeared in Judge Lane's courtroom today to provide an answer as to why they failed to show the jury summons. 2 of the missing jurors said that they had not received their summons, and the 3rd simply forgot. The court imposed a $50 fine for the absent juror with an excuse.
When we come back, we'll have more News 25.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Paycheck protection loans are back. The restaurant and bar industry sees a massive loss of jobs in 2020.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program opens back up this week. The upcoming round of stimulus loans totals $285 billion and is designated for struggling small business owners who need the cash to pay employees and cover expenses through March 31st. The restaurant and bar industry is especially hurting during the pandemic. In December alone, 372,000 people were laid off as cases of coronavirus surged and eating and drinking establishments were forced to close doors. Tesla and its shares continue on that fast track. That stock ramped up Friday above $800 billion. With that market cap, Tesla zoomed past Facebook to become 5th on the list of the most valuable companies in the world, just behind Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, Eric Garcia appeared in court today for sentencing for lewdness with a minor and use of a minor in production of pornography.
Garcia was arrested along with Mickey Cagle, Danny Hicks, and Vicky Bockley after a search warrant was conducted on February 5, 2020, and exposed evidence that led to sexual abuse charges relating to minors. The charges included sexual assault and lewdness with a minor under the age of 14 to acts of bestiality. Accusations of the crimes were first made by a DCFS social worker who was alerted to the crime by the children's medical doctor. Cagle, Hicks, and Bockley have each pled not guilty and have waived their right to a speedy trial. Eric Garcia, striking a deal with the state, had pled guilty to lewdness with a child under 14 and unlawful use of a minor under the age of 14 in production of pornography or as a subject of portrayal in performance. He is expected to testify against Cagle, Hicks, and Bockley. In Judge Lane's courtroom today, the attorney for the defense, Jonathan Nelson, stated that Garcia had been suffering from severe health problems and had received treatment while incarcerated. He asked that the judge consider making his sentence run concurrent and not consecutively because of his health issues. Deputy District Attorney Kirk Vitto had something to say about that.
Your Honor, the defendant is before you today having received the benefit of his bargain, and he should get nothing more, not anything more. He should not serve 1 day less than the maximum that this court can impose. Specific deterrence, lock the defendant up for as long as you possibly can to protect society and any child he may come into contact with. These children are wrecked. He admittedly has wrecked at least one of them. The victim that he's admitted to lost her innocence forever before the age of 10. We hope that she can enjoy a normal life. The prospects are not great, and it's because of him.
Judge Lane imposed sentence.
10 to life on each count, consecutive, 10 grand each fine. Anything else? There. All right. Good luck to you.
The trials for Cagle, Hicks, and Bockley are expected to take place early this year.
Nye County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in identifying a group of vandals.
Video surveillance captured a group believed to be responsible for vandalizing the Rhyolite train station on May 22, 2020. The 4 individuals broke in and caused approximately $10,000 damage to the site. Nye County Sheriff's Office is working along with the Bureau of Land Management Office on this investigation. If you recognize any of these individuals or have more information about this incident, please contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000 or sheriff@co.nye.nv.us.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. In fact, I'm just outside the weather studios. We're observing the weather, and it's a great vantage point to take a look at the weather. We got little light winds. We've got sunshine. We've got just some little wispy clouds up there, and an exciting weather trend developing in the next 4 days. I'll tell you all about when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Did you know on this date in history, back in 1935, Amelia Earhart, no, she didn't die. She actually lived this time. It was good. She flew all the way from Hawaii to Oakland, California. First person to do it on the planet. So congratulations to Amelia Earhart. Up and away to Fernley. Let's look at that. 46 degrees for a high today. 25 for a low. Out in Fallon, you're up to 48 degrees and 21 for a low today. Carson City saw as much as 50 degrees and felt good about it. And is going to feel good about that 31 degrees happening tonight as you approach morning. Tonopah, you're all the way up to 45 degrees today. 17 for a low. In Goldfield, you're 47 for a high and 19 for a low as we march south. The temperatures heating up all the way to Beatty, 58 degrees. 28 for a low tonight. In Amargosa, 61 degrees is a high today, 30 for a low. And in Las Vegas, 58 degrees is all you got. What? 34 for a low tonight. Yeah, a little chilly. Head on out to Death Valley. You'll enjoy it. 69 degrees for a high today, 40 for a low. And here in the Paradise of Pahrump, well, let's look. 51 degrees is our current temperature. 57 was our high today, and it was awesome because the winds were kind out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Humidity at 22%. The sun rose this morning at 6:55 a.m. It was gorgeous, and went to bed. Oh, looks like we picked up an extra couple minutes of daytime. Look at that, 4:49 tonight. It'll head down about 33 degrees for a low tonight. You might want to find some slippers if you're trolling around at night outside your house. It's getting a little chilly. Humidity 30% as we head on into the week. And what do we got for this week? Well, we got some little fluffy clouds, and then look at that big bunch of wind coming up. No, not too much wind. Not till Saturday. Saturday, the wind's going to blow out. But look at those nice high temperatures, up to 72 degrees by Saturday. We are warming up, and the lows creeping up from 35 on this end of the week to like 43, 41 on that end of the week. This is going to be an awesome week for January weather, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Back to the desk. Here's Deanne and Missy.
Thanks so much, John. Well, Desert Haven Animal Society has a number of great cats available for adoption. In today's Save a Pet, Darby O'Donnell introduces us to a sweet little kitten named Precious.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Precious. Precious is quite a young kitten. She's about 24 weeks. She was a feral cat who came in as a stray. She is very shy. She actually just currently got moved over into the new cat room, so there's a lot of different sounds and smells and noises, all stuff like that. So she's a little bit scared. She is just like Baby, where she likes to burrow underneath her blanket and her bed to kind of go and have a little safe space for her. So if you want to come and see her, she is a sweet kitty. She is super nice, doesn't scratch or anything like that. She's a gray and white tabby. She has a mainly gray body with a little white face, and she has really pretty green eyes. She is definitely young enough to go and to adapt to a new surrounding. So this is a perfect time to go and adopt her. You have to go and give her time though, so that she can open up in a new home and give her a safe little sanctuary that she can retreat to if she's feeling overwhelmed, because cats are normally prey. So they need to have a little safe space and high up places for them to go and feel secure in a new house. So if you want to come and see Precious or any of her friends here in the cat room, please give Desert Haven a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
All right. Well, if you would like to see the Nye County Republican Central Committee's entire letter and their updated letter today, it's on our local Prompt Facebook page. If you would like to donate to this year's Freedom Festival for the fireworks Zambelli, we have a link also on our local Prompt Facebook page. The town is paying a certain amount of money. They wanted a little bit extra to kind of really do it up this year.
I think that's a good idea. It's been a rough last year, so let's do it up right.
There you go. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanne O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Good night.